Hey, what's going on, guys? So today I want to talk about the truth behind Apex Legends because there's some things going around and there's some thoughts that I want to clear up a little bit as well. About this game, I haven't done like a full review or anything, so I want to go ahead and get some of my thoughts off about the game and things like that from my perspective. But on top of that, I want to talk about the microtransaction system of this game because I think that it's a really good example that has been set, especially for games like Call of Duty, which inevitably are going to have to compete with games like Apex Legends, especially going into the next few months. If this game can continue to keep its steam going about it and things like that, then this game's going to be in pretty good shape, especially when it comes down to systems like that. So I want to go ahead and give you guys some facts and truth and stuff about Apex Legends as a game. A question I've been getting a lot recently is this the Fortnite killer? Is this the Battle Royale that finally kills Fortnite? And if you're looking for that kind of stuff, this isn't the video for you. This is more or less just my opinions about the game, you know, some just harsh realities, I guess, when it comes down to it. And also, I'm going to talk about the microtransactions and stuff in this game. So, the truth about Apex Legends is that it is a solid game that does need a lot of work, okay? Especially for a free-to-play game that just came out a couple days ago. Apex Legends is already in awesome standing, in my opinion at least. I've been playing the game every day since it came out. I've played a decent amount of it. I've explored the map. I've played with pretty much all of the heroes, or I don't even know what to call them. The heroes is basically what I call them most of the time. I've played with most of the weapons and things like that, so I would say I've got a pretty good, I guess, view of the game. So I've played with just myself, with randoms. I've played with full parties. So I think that when it comes down to this game, when we talk about longevity, it's primarily going to be about the updates and stuff, because the game is already on pretty good standing, like I said. I mean, the gunplay is good, the movement is awesome, I love the Titanfall-esque theme of it and how it's set in that universe, the map is pretty good, the servers have done pretty well in my experience. I've seen some complaints because obviously the game is super popular, especially for a game that just came out, so I've seen a lot of complaints about the servers, but in my perspective, they've been pretty decent. I have gotten, I guess, kicked off or signed out of the servers a couple times, especially when I'm backing out of lobbies, but I mean, for a free-to-play game, it's pretty good, okay? It's almost like Fortnite in a lot of ways. People don't like Fortnite, and I don't really play Fortnite anymore, but when it comes down to it, for a free-to-play game, Fortnite is a pretty high-quality game. And the same can be said about Apex Legends in a lot of ways. This game is pretty polished. Graphically, it's pretty good looking. It runs extremely well on console. I don't know how optimized it is for PC. The movement, like I said, is good, fluid. I like sliding down hills especially. I like how the screen shakes and stuff like Titanfall 2 when you're running. The gunfights feel pretty fluid. I do feel like sometimes they are a little bit slow to get into. I feel like the game overall is a tad bit more slow-paced. I feel like I really don't get into gunfights unless I land literally on top of somebody else, or unless like you make it to the last 15 alive. I don't know if this is just because of my playstyle or if there's some sort of, I guess, elements of my playing that has kind of influenced it to be that way, but overall I feel like that is the case. Like I said, the map's fun. I like a lot of the locations. They remind me of the Titanfall universe pretty well. I'd say when it comes to paying homage to Titanfall overall, okay, this game is almost akin to Blackout paying some homage to the Black Ops universe over in Call of Duty. And yeah, I mean, overall, it's a solid game. It is going to need work. Like I said, the game is, of course, brand new. It is missing solos, duos, and four-man squads, which are all things I'd like to see come into the game here very soon, at least. I don't really like solo squatting because it's kind of hard to communicate with teammates, although I will say this game, another thing that I love about it is the pinging system and the way that you can communicate with your teammates even if you're not talking to them. I love the fact you can double tap R1 almost like in Battlefield games where you could like ping enemies or you could ping locations and things like that. I love that feature, okay? Looting in this game's okay. The ammo I feel like is a tad bit scarce, but even then, it's not like you need just bandoliers of ammo considering it's only 60 players, which is another thing I don't mind. People have told me that it's stupid that I was mad that Blackout was going to have such a little player count, but now I'm okay with this game being so. The reason that I was mad about Blackout, primarily at least, being low in player counts, or at least the rumors that it was going to be low in player counts, is because the map was a decent size. The map is big enough to support 100 players. The game is supposed to be fast-paced. Apex Legends, at least from what I've seen so far, is a little bit more slow-paced. It's a lot more tactical. You have, I mean, like, the heroes and stuff have their abilities. It's not really comparable in my opinion, but Apex Legends is yet another example of the free-to-play model working perfectly fine, okay? And this is something that I think Blackout especially is going to have to get through, you know, Treyarch and Activision's head. Blackout just simply isn't going to compete with that $60 price tag, because the truth of the matter is even though it's only the third day, from what I've played so far and the amount of fun that I've had so far, I personally think Apex Legends is better than Blackout in Call of Duty. That's just my personal opinion. I enjoy it more, I think it's more fun. Maybe it's because it's brand new, maybe it's because I haven't found the shit that I hate about it yet, who knows. But as of right now, I do like this game more than Blackout, and it has, like they said during the reveal, there's no barrier to entry. With Blackout, you have to buy Call of Duty Black Ops 4. With Apex Legends, if you have the PlayStation, Xbox, or a computer, you basically can just download the game. It's one of the major keys that helps Fortnite be so successful. It's free to play. You basically, you have no risk in playing that game. And Apex Legends is almost, at least in my opinion, is almost like Blackout and Overwatch combined with a little bit of, like the Titanfall elements, like of course the universe, the locations, or the graphics and stuff are inspired. The movement's inspired by Titanfall, except for, you know, you can't like wall run, you can't boost jump, there's no Titans, things like that. But it's like that, it's a good mix between the other things and the other elements of these other games that I enjoy. So I gotta say that that's good, but it being free to play on top of that is also awesome, and it's gonna be something Blackout has to learn. I mean, you're just not gonna compete with Apex Legends and Fortnite when the game costs money, I'm sorry. And considering that I'm enjoying Apex Legends more, you're just not gonna get me playing Blackout every day, like you might with Apex Legends, like you might with people with Fortnite. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure you understand what I'm saying, but that's the truth of it, okay? Apex Legends is in an amazing spot, had 1 million concurrent or unique players something within the first 8 hours of it being out. That's pretty impressive, man. That's good numbers, especially for a game that literally was a surprise reveal and release. Call of Duty Blackout, games like that, even like Fortnite. Fortnite had years of marketing and promotion, being in Game Informer and things like that. Call of Duty every year, okay, it's the biggest franchise, it has commercials everywhere, okay, the game is advertised for months. Those games, of course, should have done pretty well, but to just drop a game like that and then it be so successful, and on top of that be so good, that's impressive, okay? And now I want to go ahead and kind of switch a little bit over here and talk about the microtransactions in this game. I saw people complaining that there were already microtransactions and there was cosmetics already being sold the moment the game released, but I don't think people understand. I personally, as someone who is usually pretty critical of microtransactions, I have no problem with this, and here's why. Number one, the game is free to play, okay? The only way they're really going to make money is if they sell in-game transactions, okay? Now, I won't lie, I think it's a bit ridiculous that weapon skins, aka camos, are being sold for like $18 when you convert it to the currency back to like real-world currency. That is a bit pricey and ridiculous, and you're not going to get people like me buying that for those kinds of prices. You have to understand that a free-to-play game is going to have to sell things like that for it to, you know, be profitable. And then on top of that, okay, these microtransactions are going to help them fund games in the future. Let's be really honest, Respawn, they're good developers. I enjoyed Titanfall 2, I didn't play Titanfall 1, but they're good developers, man. They're the people who made Call of Duty great. In the first place, Vince Zampella, all these guys, they made Call of Duty. Okay? These guys know what they're doing, and they've already confirmed that they're going to be working on Titanfall for later this year. So this whole talk that, oh, they completely threw out Titanfall 3 to make this game. It's like, well, they are making more Titanfall for later this year. Like, Vince Zampella said this on Twitter. I don't know if Apex Legends is going to get like a Titanfall campaign or something, or what that's going to be, or if they're just going to release a standalone Titanfall 3 game. But I have no problem with the microtransactions and stuff of this game being there if it's going to fund more great games in the future. And then on top of that, okay, when you compare it to things like with Treyarch, like Black Ops 4, the main reason that I'm so critical of a lot of those microtransactions is the fact that it's already a $60 AAA video game. If Black Ops 4 was free to play, they could sell whatever the hell they wanted, okay, as cosmetics, and I'd be completely fine with it. But the truth is that they just aren't doing that. It's a $60 video game, okay, with three main modes, okay? Apex Legends is not. It's a free-to-play battle royale with a trusted developer behind it, and the great thing about it is that EA actually let them have independence over the microtransaction system. Like with Call of Duty, we all know Activision is stuck up their ass when it comes to the COD points and how they kind of, I guess, micromanage the DLC and microtransactions, but EA let Respawn do their thing with this. They let them go cosmetic only. They let them kind of implement this system that's like Fortnite in a lot of ways, but still going to make money, you know what I'm saying? And the thing that I really like, okay, about the system is that there's multiple different types of currency, and one of them you can only earn strictly by playing the game pretty much. There is a paid currency that you can use for some of the more exclusive things in the store, but the new heroes, the two heroes, Caustic and the other one that are available, at least from what I understand, are only purchasable with the in-game currency that you earn by playing the game. So I have no problem with that. They've already said that it's going to remain cosmetic only, and that microtransactions are not going to affect, you know, the meta and the gameplay of the actual game. So at this point, I really don't have a problem with this microtransaction system, and I think it's something Treyarch and Activision need to learn. Free to play is a good model, especially if you're going to try and copy Fortnite's system of that like weekly thing and like the item shop. You can't really do that and get away with it as much in a $60 video game. And then on top of that, you're charging premium prices for a lot of these items, okay? Like I said, $18 or whatever for some of these skins in Respawn's game. A little bit ridiculous. I'm not going to be buying those, but it's more understandable with a free-to-play game, you know? But when it comes down to it, it just should send a message to Activision anyways, okay? Give your studios the freedom to decide how they implement microtransactions. Get off their ass about the COD points. Let them implement systems that COD fans are going to enjoy, like EA did with Respawn. I mean, Apex Legends, especially as a Call of Duty fan, just exposes a lot of problems, really, with Blackout, okay? It needs to be free to play. The microtransaction system in Call of Duty still isn't really that great when you compare it to these free-to-play games. There's just no way that Blackout's really going to be able to compete with Apex Legends, which is a polished game pretty much from launch, that just needs some minor work like limited time modes, solos and duos, some tweaking to some of the looting, and maybe, like I said, some of the ammo and stuff like that. But other than that, you know, this game's fine. Obviously, it's going to need maybe new maps. I think that would be the best way, really, to approach this instead of new locations, because the map's already pretty full of locations anyways. I think they should go the PUBG route and just drop new maps. I think that would be best for this game. But I mean, Apex Legends, I gotta say, okay, I was skeptical when it was still a rumor, but once I saw the reveal trailer and I saw the direction they were taking this game, I was excited, okay? And from the moment that I've started playing it, I've enjoyed the game. I think that it's going to give games like Blackout a run for their money, and I think that it's another free-to-play battle royale. If you're not into that kind of thing, obviously you're not going to enjoy the game, but maybe just because it's new, it has kind of revitalized my interest in battle royales. I have fun playing it, and I hope that it's going to be yet another one of those games like Fortnite that teaches the whole gaming industry a lesson. That's the truth behind it. It has so much potential to become just more than another free-to-play game. It can be yet another message sent, and I think that that's powerful, and I think the folks over at Respawn have something really good on their hands. And overall, I think this is going to be good for the Titanfall series. It's going to introduce millions of new players to it, and I'm glad to see that they're not giving up hope on Titanfall altogether just to make this. So there you go, guys. That's the truth about Apex Legends. That's the truth about what it could be, and that's the truth about how I hope they're gonna take this game. Let me know what you think about the game and what you think could be done to make it better down below. Thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you're brand new around here. Follow me over on Twitter at @SubToOptimus. I post memes, thoughts, and updates over there. You can also use that to get live updates about all of my videos on my channels. It's a great way to stay in the loop. Thank you guys for all your continued support here on the channel. This channel has been doing very well recently. I hope to continue that in the future. And until my next video here on Optimus Games, guys, this is Optimus, playing Apex Legends, and signing out.